Historical reconstruction of Aryan X.
Episode 42. What are the world's four great civilizations? It is said that the world's four great civilizations refer to the Mesopotamian, Egyptian, Indus, and Huang-Ha civilizations. Of course, these are merely place names within the currently fabricated historical narrative. First, I will explain the generally accepted, but historically fabricated, concept of the four great civilizations. Then, I will reveal the actual, non-fabricated, five great civilizations that existed contemporaneously during that era. First, the Mesopotamian civilization is said to have arisen in the region between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in the present-day Middle East. I will reveal the truth about this Mesopotamian civilization separately in the next episode. Do you know the meaning of Tigris? In the region of Iraq where the Mesopotamian civilization existed, T means land, and Gris is the Greece of the Greek civilization you know. Isn't that ridiculous? The Islamic region we know of was actually part of the Greek sphere of civilization. The name Euphrates of the Euphrates River is also Korean. The Isiptu, as Egypt of the Egyptian civilization, means outside of the Isuan, and Jiptu is the pure Korean word for a house site, as Jipta. The Gib in Gibraltar, the strait in southern Spain, is the Jip of Egypt, and Raltar refers to the Al or Ral lands of Central Asia. The name Isiptu, as Egypt of the Egyptian civilization, was also Korean. When we first study history, we learn that the pyramids are clearly from Egypt, with their construction dated to around 2500 BCE. However, it is said that all other pyramids discovered in different regions, excluding the Egyptian ones, are works from around 10,000 BCE. Bosnian Pyramid, a 12,000-year-old ruin. Turkey's Göbekli Tepe site, a 12,000-year-old ruin. Artificial pyramid ruins near Mount Sumi on the Tibetan Plateau, 10,000-year-old ruins. Sion pyramids, 10,000-year-old ruins. Underwater ruins off Okinawa, Japan, 10,000-year-old ruins. As the attached data shows, the actual construction dates of pyramids found in various regions are from 10,000 years ago. However, the construction date of the Egyptian pyramids, which we can easily see with our own eyes, was arbitrarily shortened. The powers that fabricated history manipulated the dates and content to prevent people from discovering the truth about these historical relics. And please remember this fact: the original civilization of humanity is the pyramid, and the word pyramid itself is modern Korean. Among the four great civilizations, the Mesopotamian and Egyptian civilizations are highly problematic. Now, let's examine the Indus and Huang-Ha civilizations. The Indus civilization, established around 2500 BCE, is the civilization that was genuinely created during the period of the so-called Four Great Civilizations. The original South Asian culture that existed in the same region of Pakistan before the Indus civilization was the Mehrgar culture. In the period following this, after the Getchon as opening of the heavens in 3897 BCE, the Bosalbu forces as papal court, the enlightened people of Central Asia, moved to South Asia and established the Indus civilization. This will be detailed later. And the last one remaining is the Huang-Ha civilization of present-day China. But what if the Huang-Ha of history was not in present-day China? The characteristic of Hanja place names is that a river in a place called Huangju, meaning yellow land, is the Huang-Ha, and a mountain there is Huangshan. It is from this Huang land that the surname Huang originates. So, where in present-day China is this Huang land? The historical Huang-Ha, which was in Central Asia, was transplanted into present-day China along with its history and place name, fabricating the Huang-Ha civilization as if it originated throughout modern China. Now, I will introduce the actual five great civilizations of the world. The era of the four great civilizations began after the birth of Buddhism, which opened the heavens in Central Asia around 3897 BCE. At this time, bodhisattvas were dispatched from Central Asia in all four directions on a quest for enlightenment. The civilizations founded in the economic, cultural, and political centers of the East, West, South, and North are the 5 great civilizations. First, the central civilization in the Turkmenistan region of Central Asia is called the Chonchukguk as the center of Buddhism, or the Huanghe civilization. In other words, the place name Huanghe was a name in Central Asia. This Central Asian place name, Huanghe, was fraudulently transplanted into present-day China through the manipulation of history and geography. I will quote from an encyclopedia. The Huanghe civilization, Huanghevenmen, is a general term for the ancient Chinese civilizations that appeared in the Huanghe Basin. Along with the Yangtze civilization, it represents the ancient civilizations of China. It developed through the Yangtze, Yangshan, and Yongshan cultures of the Neolithic period into the Bronze Age cultures of Shang and Zhou. It interacted with and integrated various cultures from the Yangtze and Yohe basins, forming the foundation of Chinese culture. Let's examine the name Huanghe, Yanghe precisely. The land of Huang is called Huangju or Huangyang. The mountain here is Huangsang, the river is Huanghe, and the fortress is Huangsong. All these places must be located within the region of Huangju. Why must they all be in the same place? Because this is the specific region, a proper noun, where the Huang clan originated. Therefore, these place names cannot be scattered across modern China as they are today. Now, let's see if the Huang clan originated from this Huang land. Quoting Wikipedia on Huangje Hanwan. Huangje Hanwan, which is fabricated as the origin of present-day China's history, was a feudal lord who received the Huang land as his fief. The Huangje, Huangdi of the Samhuang Oje that we know is written with these characters. We can see they have completely different meanings. The Huang clan originates from Huangje Hanwan, one of the 3 sovereigns and 5 emperors in ancient Chinese mythology. The country established by his descendants was the state of Huang during the Spring and Autumn and Warring States period. The people who lived in the lowest plateau where the Huanghe is located were called Huangtoan. The history of present-day China is said to be the history of the Scythian Aryans from Central Asia. As this Central Asian history was fabricated and transplanted into modern China, the place names were also transplanted. So, what kind of land was this historical Huangju in Central Asia, where the Huanghe was located? Among the flat areas surrounded by the 3 mountains you are looking at, there is a land with a dark brown color. This was the historical Huangju, the region where the imperial castle, which housed the palaces of the 25 dynasties of Chinese history, was located. The civilization that originated here is called the Huanghe civilization. The Huanghe civilization was the central civilization of the Scythian Aryans in Central Asia. Second, the civilization founded by these Central Asian Scythian Aryans when they moved west is the Ionian civilization of Greece, the origin of European civilization. It has also been said that Greece and Ionia are all names derived from the Scythian Aryans of Central Asia and their place names. Third, the civilization founded by these Central Asian Scythian Aryans when they moved north is the Scythian civilization that was in Kazakhstan. The Scythian artifacts discovered in Kazakhstan belong to the same civilization that existed in Central Asia. Fourth, the civilization founded by these Central Asian Scythian Aryans when they moved east is represented by the ruins of Angkor Wat and the pagodas of Myanmar, which span across Yunnan, Tibet, and Southeast Asia. It is said that the extent of the pagoda ruins in Myanmar is immeasurable. And finally, fifth, the civilization founded by these Central Asian Scythian Aryans when they moved south onto the foundations of the pre-existing Mehrgar culture is the one we know as the Indus civilization. The 4 great civilizations we know of were products of fabrication intended to hide the reality of these 5 actual regional civilizations. We can see that the historical fabrication up to now has been quite flawed and clumsy. In the next episode, I will reveal the reality that the Mesopotamian civilization of the Middle East was actually a Central Asian civilization. I sincerely hope you will contact many people and join in this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It will shake the heavens and the earth. The subtitles can be translated into the language of each country, so please make use of this feature. If there are any issues, please contact me through the comments or Google Mail. The Google Mail address is aryanrealhistory@gmail.com. The YouTube video address is Historical Reconstruction of Aryan X or History Restoration of Aryan X. Everyone, your subscriptions and likes are a representation of your conscience and passion for the truth, so please do not forget.